26 Martyrs of Zographou Monastery. Zographou Monastery is a monastery on Mount Athos, also known as the Holy Mountain. Mount Athos is home to 20 monasteries, of which 17 are Greek, 1 Serbian, 1 Russian and 1 Bulgarian. Zagraphou is the only Bulgarian monastery which was founded in the 10th century by monks from Bulgaria who sought to establish a spiritual haven. As read on mountathos.com, at Zographou Monastery, the rhythm of monastic life is orchestrated around the timeless principles of prayer, asceticism and communal harmony. The monks here adhere to a strict daily schedule that interweaves liturgical worship with contemplative practices and communal tasks. This routine is not just about adherence to tradition, but is a profound expression of their devotion and commitment to a life in Christ. The monastery provides a sanctuary where the monks can pursue spiritual growth, deepen their understanding of Orthodox teachings, and contribute to the monastic community through various forms of labour. This symbiotic relationship between individual contemplation and communal responsibility is the cornerstone of life at Zographou Monastery, creating an environment conducive to spiritual enrichment and personal transformation. Now in 1274, Byzantine Emperor Michael VIII Palaiologos agreed to the Union of Lyons with the Roman Church. The union was driven in large part by political concerns, as Michael sought Western support against threats to the Byzantine Empire. However, the union was fiercely opposed by many Orthodox Christians, particularly the monks of Mount Athos. When imperial efforts were made to enforce the union, the monks of Zographou Monastery refused to accept it. Michael VIII had serious political and military reasons for seeking the Union of Lyons in 1274. After the Byzantines recaptured Constantinople in 1261, the empire was still weak and threatened by powerful enemies. The greatest threat came from Charles of Anjou, ruler of Sicily, who was preparing a campaign to conquer Constantinople and restore Latin control over the city. Michael therefore sought the support of the Pope and Western Europe. At the Second Council of Lyons in 1274, he agreed to the union of the Byzantine and Roman churches. The agreement was partly theological, but Michael's main concern was political. He hoped that union with Rome would prevent the Pope from supporting Charles of Anjou's planned invasion. It was against this background that the persecution of those who rejected the Union of Lyons took place. The Union of Lyons required those Orthodox to recognise the authority of the Pope, the use of the Filioque in the Creed, and the use of unleavened bread in the liturgy. The monks of Zographou wrote to Michael saying, "We see clearly that you are becoming a heretic, but we implore you to forsake all this and to abide in the teachings which have been handed down to you. Reject the unholy and novel teachings of false knowledge, speculations, and additions to the faith." The emperor hated the monks of Mount Athos for their opposition. Since he did not want to provoke the Greeks, he decided to attack the Slavic monks on Mount Athos. By Michael's orders, the servants of the Pope descended upon the Bulgarian monastery of Zographou. When their demand to accept the union was presented to the Zographou monks, they refused to listen. They held fast to the doctrines of the fathers. The majority of the Zographou monks left the monastery, but 26 of the most steadfast remained within the tower. Michael's army reached Zographou and they set fire to the tower. The names of the martyrs are Igumen Thomas, the monks Barsanophus, Cyril, Mika, Simon, Hilarion, James, Job, Cyprian, Sava, James, Martinian, Cosmas, Sergius, Minas, Joasaph, Joannisius, Paul, Anthony, Euthamius, Domitian, and Parthenius, and 4 laymen who died with them. As the tower was consumed by fire, they sang hymns to the Mother of God and gave their lives for Christ. They were not killed because they sought political power or opposed the emperor for worldly reasons. They died because they refused to deny what is the truth of the Orthodox faith. Their martyrdom is therefore remembered not simply as the story of a violent persecution, but as a witness to steadfastness, faced with the choice between preserving their lives and remaining faithful to Christ and his church. The 26 martyrs of Zographou chose faithfulness even unto death. The holy martyrs for their Orthodox faith were burnt alive in the monastery tower on October 10th, 1284. Thanks for watching.